I can feel in this area the energy, the positive energy. Your love and your heart is here inside. It's so nice to come here. And in all this time, when you did that, since 2009, you said to me, you ever had any setback in your memory?
Oh yeah. We had, I can say COVID because everyone had the setback of COVID.
Yeah.
But imagine to be a 12-year-old girl in the time of COVID when you used to come here and now you're sitting in a house alone in a neighborhood and your mother's at work maybe and the man next door, the predators around, the boredom. So COVID was a challenge. And you have to realize that because the girls are so vulnerable and because they're out there on the street, this was a big setback for us. And during this time, two of our girls, they were both 14 years old, went on to marry. We call it marry like this, I say, because it's informal union. They move in with a man, but 28 years old. And the other was 32. And they're 14. And the parents approved. So we couldn't even stop it. And for me, that was the most hard. To me, it's like we lost them. It was heartbreaking because what do you do that, there's. So to me, that was the biggest setback we ever had. Sometimes there's problems with families. Special child is having a very serious problem and trying to solve it, or how we can do better for the child, for the family. I don't know if that's a setback or more frustration, but I think for sure COVID for little girls, I think it was, I look at all the population. My father is old and he was in a nursing home, so I feel it was very vulnerable population and frustrating, but to be a child and to be like, that's so vulnerable.
So if a girl will not come or have the chance to come to Mariposa DR Foundation, what is the option for her future, for to get older? What the girls are trying to do to come out of this poverty or to come in a better life? What do they have for ideas?
Well, I think the town of Cabarete is lucky because we have more organizations than most places. So there are options outside of Mariposa where they could maybe go to a library, learn an instrument. There's some programs, but nothing that says this holistic that will do everything. We're gonna help with your medical. We're gonna get you up those steps. We're gonna help you go on your way. And so some people, I'm looking at the good. There could be a nice person visiting from another country or a nice person from the community. Dominicans, as you know, are big-hearted people. It's very rare to see, you don't see homeless children because everyone takes care of children. So they're not going to be without love. They're not going to be, I shouldn't say that, but they're not going to be, you're not going to throw on the streets like you might see in other countries. But for me, it's potential lost. You think about all the problems of the world, and these mines are big mines that haven't been developed because they're seen as the person that cleans the floor. They're seen as the mopper. They're seen as the laundry person. They're not seeing them as a solution. So the options, they could end up where this is the center of sex tourism in the world. They could end up becoming a sex worker. They could end up becoming a maid. They could end up just selling some fruit. They could end up not having a job at all. And most likely they will end up becoming dependent on someone else. And that doesn't feel good for anybody. So our goal here is that the empowerment, to educate girls so they become empowered young women and they can make their choices. And it's unique.
You talked about the sex tourism. Is it a big deal here? Is it a big problem? in this country?
It's a very big problem, and it's you know, I don't know as much. Maybe I should know more, but what I do know is that there's a lot of pornography films. We had a girl kidnapped from our town, 12, 11 I think she was. It happened 2 times that I know of. They kidnapped her for 1 week. They made sex videos for 1 week. Gave her back. Gave a little bit of money, maybe about $100. Don't say anything or we'll kill your parents. The parents couldn't do anything. And this was years ago, but I remember it because I knew one of the families and I heard about the other. The other one, the child never came back. And so, yeah, it's a problem because, again, they're looking at girls, at children, like they're women. And this isn't like adult prostitution, sex trafficking. These are not sex workers. These are children that are being trafficked to men, whether it's on pornography, on their computer, on their phone, however they're getting it, or in person. And I'm not saying that every girl that comes here, but it's a risk. It's a risk we have every day in this town, and that's why children, they want to keep them in your home at night, and it's why. And Sosua, Cabarete, the north coast of the Dominican Republic, the south coast of Boca Chica, these are areas that are famous worldwide for this. There are more websites. You can Google girls, women, Dominican Republic, and the first thing you're going to find, it's not Mariposa, it's sexting, you know.
So you are the safe place for something
Very
like
much.
that?
Yes.
But not here, so you care for the families, you care for the transport, that they can go safe to here, and this place is safe for the child
Yes.
every way.
We do very strong background checks for the people that are coming to be with our girls. We, the reason we do transportation or parents walking, because we know something bad could happen, not just predators, but traffic. You have crazy driving, you have, you know, there's, so yeah, we have to, I try to think if it's my own child. Would I let my child do this? And then I have to think, if it's not good enough for my child, why am I letting someone else's child?
And how much stuff you have for this to help you every day to do that?
How much stuff? Like,
Stuff like you, how much helpers, how much workers, how much teachers, how much.
it's different because we have different semesters and we do different. So, for example, in the summertime, we have almost 55 people working. So it's a big program. We have a big surfing program, a big swimming program, stand-up paddle. Children, young adolescents, they want to be part of a community. In our community, it's water sports. So we teach our girls to swim, and we do everything we can that they feel part of the community. And we also do everything we can that we see their passion, that we help them to achieve it. Because they don't maybe know what it is, so we try to present. And most of the children will never leave the Dominican Republic, so we bring the world to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I saw you have also street workers, your own street workers, but you go to the families and to check it all, right?
Yeah, in English it's a different word. We don't call it street workers, it's social workers.
Social workers,
And we're building this team bigger. We're going to, I believe, by the time you publish this film, I believe by the end of the summer we will have Child for Child, one of the largest social working health and wellness teams of any kind of an organization that's in education, at least in this country, because we do things like yoga, meditation, breathing, healthy eating, sports, exercise, but sometimes you just need a caring adult. I think if you look back at your own life, or my life, I know there were certain people, a teacher, a friend, someone that can be there, and we're trying to make sure that all of our girls have someone they can trust, that they can talk to.
Cool. Amazing. Tell me, do you have a memory of a very special moment in all this time for you?
Yeah. In the Dominican Republic, I'm sure you know, we are famous for our baseball players. And it's the dream of every boy to become a famous baseball player. So everywhere you look, you see baseball, everywhere. But for the girl, the dream would be to marry the baseball player. But they don't think about how can they, and I'm not saying they have to get out of the country, but be successful on their own. And we were able to work with an international, it's a school called the United World College, where the girls can go for 2 years and extend their education with the opportunity to get scholarships to college. It was important for me that we had a win there, because when our first girl was accepted, I ran to the bus. I got out of my car. I was crying so hard. I got on the bus, Maria Angelica, like just screaming, and I'm crying, she's crying, because it was the success that we needed to show a girl can get out of this country or can do something successful without marrying an old man, without doing, And so for me, it was one of the happiest days ever. It was really, really a big, and since then we now have 7 girls who have gone into this program. We have girls studying in the United States, in Canada, in Costa Rica, in England. We've had, so it shows that if you can be anything you want if you put your mind to it.
Oh, that's unbelievable. It sounds unbelievable. My heart came up.
It was a really good day. It was a really good day.
And you have any big goal here, maybe?
We have a lot of big goals, but for me, I just turned 60 years old. My mother, she's 86 and she's working still, so I know I come from a powerhouse of hardworking women. But I want that the organization can run for many, many, many years after I'm gone. And so the big goal is creating growing our center in a way that we have programs that will sustain it, that bring income in, that the graduates from Mariposa will become the people that this is their home, this is their center, that they will run it, and that their children and children and children and generations, and that we have this model. It's our vision that we create a model for the world. It's a big goal, but I always believe that all the problems of the world can be solved on the island of Hispaniola, Dominican and Haiti, and so that's, to me, it's the big goal. Yeah.
It's so nice.